Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the workbench. As always, this is Daniel, and I'm going to go ahead and show you guys some projects that I'm working on here. I got a bunch of rail cars that I've been working on. I've also been kind of continuing my project of refurbishing a lot of my older rolling stock that I've had in my collection that kind of needs some more maintenance, particularly some older cars, like I said, that I had in my collection that didn't necessarily have safety striping. The weathering wasn't too good on them. A lot of the cars that I had as a kid didn't have the end reporting marks and stuff. So really, I've been doing a lot of touch-up painting to some of the older cars. Matter of fact, I got 4 trash cars that I'm going to go ahead and show you guys here that I think you'll enjoy. I haven't shown these in a while, but I actually built these quite a while back now, and I finally got the work done to those, so I think you guys will like those. And I got a whole bunch of tank cars and some other little projects that I'm going to go ahead and show you guys here. And I'll try to do this as quickly as possible, but still kind of go through things in enough detail that you can understand all that I did to each model. So we'll go ahead and get right into this, guys. Really, I've been working on a few cars here, and I want to go ahead and show you this one here in the back. This is a car I've had for a little while, one that I've had, but this is one that I decided to go ahead and add a little custom graffiti to. You can see this one is for CRDX, or Consolidated or Chicago Rail, sorry. And I've been doing some custom tagging to this. You can see this one says regular crew, and this is based on the tag that someone did on an intermodal car for the 2 guys from Regular Show. If you watch that show, if any of you younger guys might watch that, I'm kind of an off and on fan of the show. I'll watch it occasionally just for the hell of it. But someone did Mordecai and Rigby on an intermodal car like this. Now, regular crew isn't the exact tag, but I went ahead and just made this up myself, and you can see it's mostly done at this point. I put the safety stripes over it, but I still need to do Rigby, and I'm kind of working on painting Mordecai right now, so I need to get some more fine tip brushes to do some more of the detail to it, but this is what's going on with the car right now. Also did a lot of final weathering to this too, so I've done a lot of paint chipping to the roof, as you can see, and all kinds of other little effects like that. But hopefully I can get this done here soon so I can show you guys this later. I think that'll be a pretty cool car when it comes out. Then on this side, you can see I did some more graffiti to this side as well, and then added the primer patches and the safety stripes, and really overlaid the graffiti. You can see it looks really pretty good, and you got all the rust and all that nice paint chipping effects on this. So this car looks pretty good. But I showed this in the last video, not really technically showed it, but it was in the background here on my test track in the back. And I know you guys were probably wondering what that was. Actually, I had a guy message me and ask me what that was and if it was for sale. So I thought I'd go ahead and show this one first just to get it out of the way. But this is a project that I'll be working on off and on here when I get some more time. So hopefully I can get that done here pretty soon. Also, I've been kind of experimenting with oil painting lately, and I'm going to go ahead and show you guys this stuff here real quick. These are some oil paints that I got at Hobby Lobby that I thought were some good base colors to kind of start experimenting with some oil paint techniques on some rolling stock I have. So I've been going back and adding a little bit of oil paint to some of my other models that I've already done that look good, but thought I could spruce up a little bit with some of these oil paints. And I really like the effects so far, what I've practiced with these oil paints. Some of the effects are great. The rust spots especially are really nice, and the combining these 2 colors together, we got a bright orange and then a burnt umber. These together make a really nice rust effect. I'll go ahead and show you the culprit I tried this on, and this is the car I already did a while back. This is PLWX 2550 or 500, and you can see the really nice rust effects I did to this with the oil paints. And I just did this in the traditional dry brushing method with just streaking it down a little bit. And even what I did further, once I applied the paint, I let it dry up a little bit, and then I took some enamel thinner and then finished the streaking. You get these really nice streaked effects on the sides of the car over the rust spots and all that. I think that just looks incredible, honestly. I think that looks great. And I showed this on my Facebook page, and I got some pretty good feedback on it, so I'm definitely going to keep practicing the oil paint weathering on these cars. So I think it looks really good. And real quick, I'll show you guys the other side here. Really nice. Both sides are equally nice, but you can see those rust effects just look awesome. I'm really liking these oil paints so far. But hopefully, as I kind of get better knowledge about oil paints, I can kind of start using this more to my advantage and really start going into detail with some weathering on with the oil paints on some of my models. So there's the first car I've done with this so far. This is one like I said, I already did, but just touched up. So go ahead and get that out of the way. Move these out of the way a little bit here. Now, I also recently purchased some sulfur cars I really wanted, and these are a pair of the yellow banded, some of the more popular yellow banded sulfur tank cars that you commonly saw here growing up. And I kind of saw growing up here and around Ohio. They used to go through from Canada, and these are some Canadian molten sulfur cars for CGTX, and you can see I weathered these up real nicely. Gave these guys a nice light fade and then a real good dusting with some weathering powder to kind of give it that rusty effects on the shell of the car. You can see it looks really nice. And then the band I faded down real nicely and added the rust pitting, the streaking, the paint chipping around the hatch, some streaks running down. You can see this one looks really good. Excuse me. I added the safety stripes to this, and I also on these, since the Walthers cars come with the AccuMate couplers, I went ahead and changed these out to the more accurate scale size shelf couplers, and then I also added the hazmat placards to these as well, and then the safety striping, and on this particular car the new hazmat contact information. As you can see, that's patched and then applied, so that looks pretty cool. And just kind of did some patching on this over I basically masked off all of this lettering and then weathered over it, and then once all the weathering was done, I peeled it off to reveal it, to make it look like a car that's been basically freshly stenciled. I think that looks really awesome. Here's the other side of this one. And you can see there's really nice chipping effects on the band there. I think that looks awesome. And then there's the kind of the kick up on the end. It's more of a spray, unlike the conventional streaks that I usually do. This is more of a spray on the ends here. You can see that. It looks pretty cool. And then this one here is an older car, so you can see the patching is a little bit more older, so I kind of weathered over that too, but really just did about the same weathering. These cars looked about the same in the photos, you can see. Again, did the really nice paint chipping effects, especially in the handrails. You get some sulfur spills around the hatch there. Added the safety stripes, did a little more patching. All the weathering was done, upgraded the couplers on this one too. Did a little more powder streaking, especially on the around the dome there too. That looks pretty cool. And out of the both of these, I think this one is my favorite. I really like it. I just really like the fresh patch effect on this, and these cars just look really awesome. So these will be going into sulfur service, obviously, and get some mileage on those. But those cars look pretty cool, I think. I think those look really awesome. Now, I've also been buying all the LPG cars lately, trying to buy those up as often as I can. So I have some more LPG cars that I got here. I got two Procore, two of the gray-white Procore cars. And these are a little more uncommon, but they are around still. A lot of these have been repainted, though. But the first one here is Prox 33497, and unfortunately I found out this car was involved in a derailment, so it no longer exists, but I went ahead and just weathered it up and a little beyond what it looked like in the photos in 2004 when it was last photographed before it was crushed in a derailment. So I did all the tagging appropriately, added the safety stripes to this, weathered it up real nicely. You got some chipping on the top there and around the hatch especially, at the top around the railings, darkened the railings a little bit. Did some stencil modification for the LPG, re-stenciled these, and placarded them for LPG, obviously, added the new hazmat contact info. And then on this side, pretty much about the same, you can see. Did a little more tagging on this side. So that looks pretty cool. There's the first white LPG car. That's an Athearn RTR model. And the second one I went into a little more detail with, and I think you guys will really like this one. I'll actually go ahead and show this side first. Here's the first side of this one. You can see the Herald on this one is really beat up, and you can see it's just beat to hell, chipping away. Really nice effects though. Did all the tagging on the sides again from photos, added the safety stripes, did the patching and the stencil modifications. You got the vinyl strip that you commonly see put on these cars. For some reason they have these vinyl strips that they might put stencils over sometimes. So I've seen that, and I've been kind of going back and adding decal strips to a lot of my cars to represent those vinyl strips that they put on these cars. So that one looks pretty cool. And then this is the side I really like the most. You can see I did the layers of graffiti on this side, and then put some patches on it where the car might have been repaired. Did the stencil modifications. Just did all that. You got the LPG spillage down the side, and then on the ends you got the kick up, which is the more modern, more common spray. You can see you got the splatter and all that. Pretty cool effects on the ends there. And same on this side. But these are some really cool cars, I think, for some of the older LPG cars. These look really nice, and this one's definitely my favorite out of them. I really love the layered graffiti effects on this. And that's a mixture of hand painting, a little bit of marker, some pen, pencil, some artist pencils, stuff like that. Kind of some stuff I've been really more over experimenting with graffiti, but you can see you got the nice layered graffiti effect on this car, and that looks pretty cool. Go ahead and set that guy aside here. And this one. Move these back a little bit too. The next cars I have here, I also got a few more of the UTLX cars. So the first one I have here is UTLX 952853, and with this one I weathered it off of photos. I did some of the, I tried this, basically this weathering effect where I used a combination of dull coat and gloss coat mixed together when they were still wet to kind of create this paint chipping effect. As you can see, it's not really overspray, it's just more over this blotchy effect you get when you mix the two together that I've kind of experimented with. It kind of look like a car that has the peeling clear coat effect that you kind of see sometimes on these cars. So I kind of did that. And this is one of the early Triple Flags cars, so obviously it's pretty well weathered. Did most of the weathering with some powders and some stuff like that, some acrylic. Added the graffiti to these, safety stripes, all that good stuff to this. And here's the other side. Really like the tagging on this side. You can see it looks pretty cool. But there's one of the UTLX cars that I just recently did. I think that one came out pretty cool. There's the first one. And then the second Triple Flags car I got here is number 952858. And you can see this one again looks pretty nice. They're weathered about the same, but a little difference here and there. Some graffiti, all the hand drawn on there, safety stripes added. Got all the nice rust on the top there. This one's a little more pitted though. At the top you can see the paint's peeled away, revealing some metal on the bottom, which is starting to corrode pretty badly. You can see it looks really cool. I think that looks really good. And there's this side. Again, some prototypical hand-drawn graffiti based on pictures, all done by hand. You got the vinyl strip like I just mentioned that's on these cars a lot, the stencil cover, and then it's freshly re-stenciled for non-odorized liquefied petroleum gas up there, so that looks pretty cool. So that's the other one I did. And then here's that more kick up kind of a spray on the ends of this one too, so that's pretty cool. There's the second UTLX car, and then this last one is just a straight UTLX car. This is 952666, and I did the weathering and the tagging, added the safety stripes to this one, all done on photos. You got a little bit of patching, so you got the fresh glossy paint in these little areas here, even right there. It's kind of hard to see that though because it's weathered up, but you can see I did a nice light dull finish on these cars too. This one especially, you can see that nice dull finish, taking away some of that glossy sheen right out of the package. Makes this car look really nice. You can see all the nice rust streaking on the top there, like I just mentioned, and then you got the graffiti. And then you got the vinyl decal covers on there. So that looks pretty cool. Really like this one. This is probably my favorite out of all of them. I just like it a lot. There's the kick up on the ends, also really cool. And then on this side, a little simpler with the graffiti, but then you got all the rust effects on the top there, which I think look really killer. Really like this car. These are really nice. It's good to have these plain Jane solid black cars in your fleet. Especially in the modern times when most of these cars are just solid black. So hopefully I can keep buying some.